Welcome back from the comfort of my bedroom if you're watching me on YouTube or if you've got the video option playing. Lately, I have been feeling very uncomfortable and processing a lot, shedding a lot, and a lot of like 2024, but mainly 2025 has been about being in this void. So that's what I want to share with you. I want to share with you my journey on being in the void and how you can kind of navigate it. So what's up, gang? Welcome back to my podcast, the Mindset Manifestation Podcast. My name is Jessie, and as you can tell, I'm in a mood. I go through different moods. Like sometimes I'm sassy, sometimes I'm emotional and just sad and just like quiet. Yeah. So sometimes I'm just silly and you get silly me. By the way, before we get into this, I want to introduce to you all Salami. Slami. Not salami, Slami. He has been on my journey for like since 2022, I think. He's traveled with me everywhere. So Slami, my mate, you're going to see him around more. So don't forget him. He knows all of my deepest, darkest secrets. Okay? All right. So 2024, let's just say the last couple of years, mainly last year, let's just talk about last year, was really difficult for me because I have been shedding, even recently, I have been shedding a lot and releasing a lot and breaking away old habits because what I've realized is there are certain things that I just do because it's unconscious. You know how it's like habitual and it's just like a part of your personality or a part of just your everyday. And I've realized that certain things I was doing wasn't helping me, wasn't wasn't actually helping me get to that next level, which is what I'm striving for 2026. And a lot of my time in 2025 last year was spent literally chipping away at every single bad habit and behavior. Every single time. Every time. And one of the biggest things I've realized, one of the biggest things I've noticed, like a common pattern, a common theme for me is the need to control. Like I have needed to control. And I'll share with you what I mean and like step into my world, just step into my mind. What I realize in terms of how I control is I need to know what is next. I need to have a plan. I need to figure out what I'm doing today. Like, let's say today I wake up, I'm like, okay, what am I doing? So, as soon as I wake up, my mind is instantly in like, what have I got to do today? Bop, 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 bop. And I'll be thinking about it. I'll be thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking nonstop. Exhausting. And this is what I did with manifestation too. If you haven't listened to the last episode, I talked about how I've shifted on how I manifest now. And I did that a lot with manifestation. I have a very addictive personality, so I find myself getting addicted to certain things. So if it's like a habit, I get addicted to doing that thing, that habit. And it's not good for me. And manifestation was one of the things. And manifestation was another way of me controlling. It's another form of control for me. So I stopped doing that. And what I found is like I was just so uncomfortable and so frustrated because everything I did and everything I wanted to do was just because it was known. And I just wanted to know what was next. So I was living in my mind, figuring out, what am I going to do today? Let me list all the things I got to do today. And if I don't have anything planned, I need to do something. I always need to be doing something, at least in my mind. I need to be that like mentally stimulated, which was just me controlling. And something I've always struggled with is change, or things not going the way that I've planned in my head, or uncertainty, the unknown. And this is the void space. This is the void space. And this is what I've realized is actually what I'm afraid of, is the uncertainty. Because if I can control, if I know what's going to happen, I can predict it. This is what's called hypervigilance. If I can control what is going to happen, I can predict it. And that's where the anxiety comes in. That's where the fear comes in. And that's when your body creates, your mind and your body creates this future experience that hasn't even happened yet. And I say this all the time. You may have heard me say this a couple of times. You could be in your bedroom and you could be having a panic attack because you're thinking about something that hasn't even happened. And that's why I think so many of us are afraid of the future, because we can't predict it. And that's the thing, we can't. We literally can't. But for me, my mind, I needed to know. I needed to know everything, every little detail. I needed to fucking know. And so 2025, I was looking at my patterns and realizing how I need to be in control, and how that creating certainty made me feel safe. And so slowly I started breaking away certain habits, little micro habits. One of them was to do with my business and social media. Every morning when I wake up, the moment I wake up, boom, flooded of information. I'm overwhelmed. My mind is like, and I'm thinking about what I have to post, what I have to do today, what do I have to do? I have to do all of these things. Oh my God, there's so many things I have to do. And I'm like, chill the hell out. Sorry, I'm really uncomfortable. Chill the hell out, Jessie. And I don't. So I noticed that. That was one of the things that I've noticed. And I slowly began to just learn to sit with that and just be like, let's sit in the present moment. Let's be here. Let's be grounded, and let's not create future plans as much. Having some plans is fine, but let's not create future plans, or let's not think ahead. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And so I'll just sit in the discomfort of being in my body, which is key, right? Key. Because when you're trying to control and you're focusing on the future, you're purely in your mind and you've left your body. You've disconnected, disassociated. So I spent a lot of time getting into my body and staying here and letting it become more familiar. As I was doing this, I realized that there was so much fear coming up of the uncertainty. I was starting to break away these habits, but I hadn't yet created new ones, or this like new identity wasn't quite fully formed yet. I'm like, who am I? You know, I used to do all of these things. This is who I thought I was. But now that I'm not, then who am I? You know, what's my next chapter? And this is what I've spent a lot of this time, even recently, just sitting in. And it's very uncomfortable. It's like, who am I, first of all? Because we're infinite souls. We're limitless beings. And we're so many things. But I'm so used to categorizing myself into one thing. I'm this person. So I was like, who am I? And what's next? Because I have no idea. You know, I've worked really hard on getting out of my head and into my body, and not thinking too far ahead, not getting too far ahead. So now that I'm not and I'm present, I'm here and I'm like, now what? This is a void. This is the void space. This is uncertainty. And something that I've really been leaning into with this feeling and in this space is there is no sense of urgency. There's always layers. There's like layers upon layers of like shedding. Like you'll reach you'll release one thing and then you'll realize, oh, but there's another layer to that. And so for me, it was like the uncertainty, and then it was the urgency of like, now that I'm in this void and I don't know what's next, and I don't necessarily know who I am, like I'm still exploring new parts of me. It's like, but I want to urgently know. I need to know. I need to know what's next. I need to know who I am. And then there's like, the urgency of it. And then having to sit with that and be like, no, there's no urgency. We don't need a rush. We don't need a rush. We get to slow down. We get to be in our body. And we get to be present. And we trust. And we surrender. So a big part of the void, big part of this space, if you're in this space, is about surrendering, is about trusting. If you're a female with the feminine energy, our essence is embodiment. And we receive downloads and inklings and all of these things through stillness or through connection with ourselves. And something that I've been learning is getting out of my masculine mind. So getting rid of the control and trusting and surrendering and slowing down and connecting and trusting that the information will come. And it will be there. It will show up. So part of the void is really leaning into this surrender and letting the information land, knowing that you don't know. So get comfortable being uncomfortable and being in the unknown. Because that is the whole purpose of this journey. One way that really helps me embody this and make this a little bit easier is just being as present as I can. And so appreciating the little things, because society these days, we're so rushed and we are so quick to go on to the next thing that we kind of skip the moments. We miss the moments. We miss the amazing moments. We miss the simplicity of things, which are the most profound and beautiful moments that we can experience. So right now for me, what I feel, what I've been struggling with is needing that dopamine hit. So I'll be doing things and I'll be like, making my cacao or preparing food or cleaning my room, and I'll be like, what's next? What am I going to do? Instead of just, whoa, like I get to drink this cacao. I get to clean my room, or even I get to have a shower with hot water. How cool is this? Just really be appreciative and present and grateful. And I know it's challenging, and it's challenging because our bodies are not used to this sense of stillness and slowness. We're so used to rushing and being in survival and constantly be going go, go, go. So slowing down in this process takes time. It actually takes time, and it takes consistency. But definitely being in the void is learning to be more appreciative and learning to be more present and grounded in your body. That is the most sacred thing you can do, because you don't know what's next, and you're still figuring out and exploring who you are. What do I like? What do I want to do? You know, and creating new habits from the old habits, which I suggest replacing them with obviously healthy habits and exploring new things. I have I'm exploring a lot. I booked a healing session this Saturday, which is uncomfortable for me because I don't like to heal in public, but this is like a healing circle. So I'm excited about that, but I'm nervous. I am going to take up singing lessons. I'm wanting to do like boxing or something like that. I'm just throwing myself out there in other ways, because part of the void and part of like redefining yourself is going out and exploring new things. You can't just be in your hermit. Like, there is a time and place to go inwards, which is like the shedding, which is the healing, the releasing, the letting go, which is what I did in 2025. I did not do anything interesting. I did not do anything remotely that great. If you want to look at success, I was not successful. I didn't really make that much money. I didn't have that much clients. Like, I wasn't doing a lot, and I can look at that as being a failure, or I can look at that as probably one of the most transformative years of my life, because I have done the most intense, most profound work, transformative work that is key. It's what is setting me up for the rest of my life. I believe like the work that I did and continue to do is crazy. It's so deep. It's a lot of shedding. It's sitting with those parts of me that I don't like the parts of me that I've neglected, rejected, that I want to change, and allowing myself to feel. It's like, the way that I think of this is like, it's like having, the only way that I can think of this is like just being really unsettled. You know how like you tap your foot and you're like, you're irritated, and you just tap, and you just can't sit still, and you just need to do something. You just want to do something. And it's like sitting with that. And then you're like, no, but I need to get up. And it's like, no, but you're sitting. That's how it felt in 2025. That's literally, I would revisit the same patterns, I would say sometimes like 5-10 times a day. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Because it's so habitual, right? It's so conditioned. So this is me like unlearning and getting rid of the habits. This is how I do it. So I'm just sitting with those parts. I'm like, nope. And it's like this part of me, my mind is like, I should be healed already. I should have already dealt with this. I should have already been done with it. Like, why are we facing this? But then the other part of me is like, no, well, sit with it, have compassion, be patient. And patience, oh my God, if there's one word that I really had to learn last year, it's patience. Patience with myself, most importantly, because I would literally be like dealing with this trigger, dealing with the trigger again, dealing with the trigger again, or dealing with the pattern again, dealing with it again. And the journey that I went on back in 2024 when I was healing my abandonment wound in relationships, it was the same thing. Oh, it was like I was crying. Oh, gotta show up for myself. I love you. Crying. Gotta show up for myself. I love you. It was the same thing. And this is how I see healing. That's how I've experienced it. And I've had a lot of trauma, a lot of stuff. And this is the way that I have found it to be the most transformative thing, is just it's to go through it. You know, I don't know if you've heard that, you can't go over it, you can't go under it, you gotta go through it. That's literally what it is. You just gotta go through it. And every time I get frustrated or I don't want to deal with it, you know, I did a little sneaky, I'll just do the thing and then heal later. Do the thing that I know is not the right thing to do, and then heal later. You know what I mean? Face it later. And that's what I used to do. But then I will think, well, I've got to deal with it at some point, so I may as well just deal with it now. So this is the journey of the void. The void is uncomfortable, and if it's not uncomfortable, then you're not in it enough, because it's meant to be uncomfortable, and you're not meant to know. Obviously, the mind wants to know everything, but the easiest way, or the most beneficial way to navigate those moments when you're in your mind and you just want to know, is to drop into your body. I do this exercise with my clients, and we can do it now. It's so simple. Everything is so simple, but our mind likes to complicate it. This is one of them. And I'll give you an example. If you just close your eyes for a moment, if you can, if you're driving, or don't do it. But you can kind of do it with your eyes open, but preferably eyes closed. And you drop into your body. And you just notice how you feel in your body. Just notice, just sit in here for a minute. Notice any sensations. And then you just open your eyes when you're ready. Notice how you were not thinking. Like, there's no thinking going on. Not when you're connected into your body. Like, yeah, you may have been thinking about the sensations, but you know what I mean? There's no actual rat race. It's not your ego. And that's how simple it can be. It's so simple. Whenever you have a problem, whenever I have a problem, I always just connect into my body. I'm like, oh, the problem's disappeared. There's no problem. Because the problem's created in my mind. But when I tap into my body and I connect to my body, the problem disappears. And that's how I'm able to solve a lot of things. Because I can shift my perspective in that way. So that's what I have been navigating, and I feel like a lot of people have been navigating through this as well. And I want to remind you, I want you to take a deep breath. Like, let's just take a deep breath. And if you can, put a hand on your heart. Because this fucking journey is not easy. Being here on earth is not fucking easy. Being in these vessels that are so triggered all the time, it's not easy. It's not easy. So give yourself some love and compassion and appreciation. And just breathe. Let yourself rest. Let yourself relax, because you deserve it. This healing journey is long and it's a lot, but you signed up for this. And as long as you can, as many times as you can, remain in your body and feel as connected as you can, then you realize all is okay. Because the freedom and the power and all of the answers are all within. Every time I feel anxious or worried, I just drop into my body and I remember that, like, there's nothing I need right now. It's that can't wait. This sense of urgency, this sense of rushing, this sense of needing to know. I don't need to know. I don't need it. I can relax. And I just drop into my body and I just let myself breathe here for a moment. And I don't think many people do this often enough. And if you don't, I suggest you do this as many times as you can, because it's so simple yet so effective. And most people today are so disconnected, so in rush mode, and we need to slow down. You need to slow down. You need to connect, because through connection is the remembrance of your soul, of you. Oh, I don't know. It's just really powerful for me. There is nothing outside of you. Nothing is outside of you. That thing that you're stressed about, it's going to be solved. The fact that you're in this waiting period or you're not sure what's next, that's the best thing that can ever happen to you, because you're creating space for something amazing to come up, something that you can't even fathom right now. The fact that you're even here on this earth, existing, living, breathing, means that you're worthy 10 million times over. You're already worthy. You're already enough. You're already doing enough. And just really allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to feel and connect. Allow yourself to just be for once, and not need to prove, and not need to predict, and not need to control. Let it go. Let it go. Give yourself permission to rest and stop beating yourself up just because you feel like you're not doing enough, or you want to have all the answers, or you think you're not as further along as you would like. It's all made up in your head, because where you are right now is perfect. Like, it's perfect. You are meant to be here in this moment right now for a reason. You don't need to be further along. Right here, right now, this moment is divinely, it's divine. It's divine. And it's exactly where you're meant to be. So breathe and feel, and let yourself breathe. Let yourself rest, and let yourself enjoy this waiting period, this void. Let yourself explore new things, and give yourself permission to rest and recalibrate, because you need that energy for the next phase. Like, I'm resting a lot. I'm allowing myself to not be productive, because I need that energy. And I deserve to rest. I deserve not to be productive. I don't need to be useful. I don't need to be putting in all of this effort. I don't need to prove myself. I get to rest. I get to be here. I get to just enjoy. And you do too. You're allowed to. You deserve it. So I hope you enjoy this episode. I think it was a little all over the place, but that's okay. That's okay. And if you would like to work with me, where we can explore maybe your deeper trauma, some of the things that maybe you struggle with. If you want to learn how to connect deeper to your body and heal your nervous system, heal your inner child, that's kind of what I specialize in, then you can work with me if I resonate with you. And thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you next time. Bye.